that's an idea. Now that's an idea. Now that's an idea. Now that's an idea.
And welcome back to week 2 of the election special. We're talking to council candidates vying for a seat at the table of power at the GDC. But first up, a massive thank you to Design Weasel, aka Chris Williams, for our brand spanking new intro design, and to Lenny Lawns, aka Leonard Powell, for the music. But now we're jumping straight into it. We're talking to candidates about their ideas for Tairāwhiti. Here we go. Welcome to Now That's an Idea. I'm here with Alexandra Boros. Welcome to the show. How are we?
Good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
How's the campaign trail? Local politics, is it alive and well?
It is. It's kind of fascinating being involved. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, and yeah, meeting lots of people, and yeah, it's good.
Yeah, well, because I saw these articles about, people getting basically elected because no one's standing, but that is not the case in Tairāwhiti. No. It's like a
that is true.
Who's who.
Yeah, absolutely, and everyone's got all different connections to the community. So yeah, no, it's fun times.
Yeah. I bet. And so before we jump into your idea for Tairāwhiti, if you're elected, do you want to give people just a bit of a rundown of who you are and, your connection and what you've been up to in life?
Yeah, sure thing. So I was born here in Gisborne and grew up on a farm in Ngātapa, a sheep and cattle farm. I went to Ngātapa Primary School, which is tiny, 24 kids, probably is still tiny. Gisborne Intermediate, and then Gisborne Girls High School as a rectory boarder, which was fun times. I have got 2 daughters. One's 22 and she lives in Hungary, just in a really beautiful wine region there, small town or a city similar to Gisborne. And she's a professional water polo player and studying health science. She'd like to move back to Gisborne one day. And then my second daughter, who's 20, is at the University of Hawaii. She's a student athlete there, also playing water polo and studying business. So she lives right sort of in Honolulu, and yeah, so they're doing fun things. And then my husband is in recruitment. He's working for Te Whatu Ora, recruiting senior doctors for Gisborne Hospital. So he's got a big job on his hands, picking the hospital up with doctors. In my line of work, I've been in sales, design, retail for a long time, and predominantly in Hong Kong, and more recently in Christchurch. Yeah, spent a lot of time in both those cities. Hong Kong being a sort of an urban ecosystem on steroids, and then Christchurch during the rebuild. So arrived there shortly after the earthquakes and have sort of watched it over the last 12 years. And yeah, so that's me. And here we are back in Gisborne. Been here a year now. So
yeah. Now, how did you get into water polo? Because I know you're also on the water polo committee for Gisborne. So
yes,
how did this happen?
Okay, so my daughters were playing, well, they were actually swimmers. We moved back to New Zealand and had never seen water polo before. I didn't see it growing up here in Gizzy, and they hadn't seen it in Hong Kong, although it is big there now. And they got out of the pool one day and a whole lot of kids jumped in. They had hats on, they're chucking a ball around, and they just said, okay, we need to play that sport. So they got into it, and then I met my husband through the sports. He used to be a professional water polo player in Hungary. So everyone in the family is involved heavily in water polo, and my knowledge is limited, although I'm learning. But yeah, it's a cool sport, and that it's team sport, but the water safety is key, and that's why it's so good for this region. Yeah.
So where does water polo happen in Gisborne? We've got a committee, so there must be.
Yeah, exactly. So at Kiwa Pools, so amazing setup there. We've got all the goals, all the gear. So it's really flourishing at sort of year 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 level. Got quite a few adults who play, but it's really growing in the younger kids. So and then this summer we're hoping to take it up the coast to the pools out there that are all nicely heated now with their solar technology, and a lot of schools here have pools. So eventually if the schools can sort of take over and have their own teams and then come to play against each other at Kiwa Pools, that's the plan.
Oh, rad.
Yeah, right. So it's good.
This is a little side mission for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, do you want to tell us what your idea for Tairāwhiti is? Because I think it's a great way of just seeing how people think about problems and
find solutions, and if they're actually realistic solutions or if it's kind of
absolutely.
good thinking. What's your idea?
Well, my idea, it stems from, so basically I've been campaigning around the CBD, having a bit of a makeover and coming right, and it being sort of safe and inspiring as opposed to how it is now. So, I mean, we live right in amongst it here. And so that's been my campaign. And I think there's a lot of elements that are going to have to go into lifting our CBD. The Gisborne District Council are doing a city revitalisation plan, which if that's pulled off well, that's going to be great. And then there are private investors, but they're just wanting that confidence to take that next step and get involved in the city. But I think once things do turn, it's going to be good. But I think what the city needs is a bit of a flow of 20-somethings coming in. It's just that they're full of energy and ideas, and they want to be out and about. If we can stem some this way rather than lose them all, I think that's going to be a huge help for getting our city up and running better. And my big idea is, while we have like 20 to 25,000 20-somethings in Gisborne each year, to actually set up a marketing campaign to them, get them understanding that this isn't just a beach town like Raglan or Whangamata that sort of doesn't have that full suite of infrastructure that you need when you're starting your career. It's actually a standalone city. It's got, multiple law firms and accountants, if that's a good way to, sort of see how big a place is. There's heaps of industry here, and just basically market to them, sow that seed that this could be a fantastic place to live and start the career. I mean, career development and progression here is pretty quick compared to other cities around New Zealand, and obviously lifestyle, which that generation is, they hold that pretty high importance. Yeah, so just, I guess, to break that mold of them camping, festivaling, coming into town for a pie and a coffee, going to the beach, doing that on repeat 4 times and leaving, just in their downtime, giving them that, sowing that seed and giving them that thought of maybe moving here will help us hugely.
Yeah, I mean, see, like Rhythm and Vines, there's so much potential to somehow just take some of those 20,000 people that are just strolling around having a good time. Yeah. So how would you do that though? What would be like the?
I guess a digital sort of marketing campaign would work. I mean, there's people out there who do this for a living, so there would be a smart way to do that. I mean, if the whole community kind of got on board, and that would also help if everyone had this idea in mind that we're going to sort of embrace these people coming in and try and sell our city to them a bit better, because I know a lot of local Gizzy folk get a bit grumpy around that time of year, so it would be nice to sort of roll out the carpet for them a bit and set up something, and maybe even work with R&V and some sort of campaign that did sort of sow the seed, or potentially give them some incentive to move here. There's always that.
Yeah. So how would, obviously anything in council, you're like one of 13, so you can't just kind of do whatever you want. But if you could just do whatever you want, how would you do this as the first step? You'd just be hiring a agency, or
I think so. Yeah, I mean, the digital nomad campaign was really cool. I love that. But you don't have to come here and work in IT and work from home. And there's jobs here galore, right? You look at Seek at the moment, there's a lot of good jobs for professionals. So I guess, a campaign like that's just gonna, or just something that alerts them on their phone that, hey, maybe you should look into Gizzy a bit more than just the basic R&V cycle.
Yeah. I guess the only major problem I can think of is just there's already like a lack of housing already.
Yeah,
Tairāwhiti, so it's kind of, but not to say that it can't be fixed, and this is kind of one piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you got any thoughts on housing? Obviously, you're one of the few people that actually live down in the CBD.
Yeah, I know for a fact that there are a lot of apartments around us that don't have anyone living in them, and so there's that option. It's just that not everyone is ready to live in an apartment in the middle of Gizzy, but can assure you it's really cool. It's a great way to be living. So there is housing here if you're really interested, and also a lot of people are leaving Gisborne at the moment, which so there is a cycle in that respect.
Yeah, actually there's the kind of people that run Zephyr Cafe, or used to. There's kind of this exodus of, I want to say, like Byron Bay type people.
Yeah, And it's, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I guess the other question would be is we could probably bring people here in summertime when, the beaches look nice, but how do we keep people, especially younger people in Tairāwhiti, to like have that energy going?
Yeah, I mean, it's all just a building thing, isn't it? I mean, we've been living in Christchurch, and the winters here aren't actually that bad at all. It didn't even feel like a winter. So it's but yeah, no, the beaches could be looking a lot better at this time of year. But the more 20-somethings that come here, the more there will be to do, the more that they'll encourage hospitality, and things will build off them. It's just such a key age group to getting things going, and they're into sport, and yeah, it's just turning that tide and getting the trend to shift and to become a cool place to live. Yeah, I mean, like a little Byron Bay, why couldn't it be like that here? It's all here. It's just
I think you're right about having more younger people to make more things for younger people, because there's nothing worse than older generations trying to like put on events for 20-year-olds.
No, absolutely.
It's just not going to work.
No, that doesn't work. Yeah, they know exactly what they want. So yeah, the more creatives that can come in, then it will feed off itself. But yeah, no, for sure.
Do you think there's any major barriers that are happening in Tairāwhiti at the moment that's kind of making people choose somewhere else over Gisborne or Tairāwhiti?
Yeah, I think the fact that the CBD is sort of in the situation it's in is not helping. I mean, it's a big region, and we do need a decent city at the core of it. And you look north and south, you've got, Napier, Hastings, which are, given the economic situation of our country at the moment, they're going pretty well. And then Whakatane is awesome. Everyone's loving it, and people are tending to go there for their shopping. So we need to have this is a destination place here. We need to make it good. We need to make it really worthwhile, and we kind of owe it to our community to have this city going well.
So you've done a lot of traveling and kind of seen the world. What is a good CBD for you?
I think safety is pretty important, and there are a lot of times where this doesn't feel that safe or inviting or inspiring. That's key, but that can be fixed. That's not something that's impossible to solve. I think it needs to have a little bit of everything going on. We don't even have a fruit stall in this city. Every town everywhere has somewhere you could go and buy fresh fruit, or we have a great butcher. That's lucky. That's a cool thing. But we're just missing some of those little basic things. And I mean, just a city centre that's like every other city centre, I guess. It's we've got lots of gaps, lots of teeth missing at the moment in our town. So.
I think I was looking on the GDC redevelopment of the city centre. I think Low Street is looking to be a potential kind of pedestrian only, or maybe even covered, because if you could have like night markets and things like that where it doesn't depend on the weather, you can just be out there, rain or shine, it's going to be good. Is that something you'd support?
Yeah, I think, I mean, there's a bit of anxiety about like losing streets and car parks. People get a bit, but you can have something that at nighttime, when people aren't, the requirement to park is not so high, then definitely something covered can be good. We get a decent amount of rain here. I'd love to see the farmers market move close to the city. So on Reeds Quay, I think it would just drag all those, because that's a great, weekly event, drag those people just a little bit closer to the city, and then they would potentially infiltrate into the city on a Saturday morning, rather than park here, sort of walk over there and then go home, just have it in reverse. So be parking at the where the market is now, and head over the bridge and stay in the city for a bit.
It is a car park. So,
exactly. And it would be nice to be down along the river, so you can hang out there afterwards or during here.
Totally. I mean, for me, that's the most bizarre thing about Gisborne, is that we've got this incredible river and it just looks beautiful. And there's not like a single cafe or restaurant. Like there's the what used to be the marina.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's like doesn't really ever kind of work.
No, it doesn't.
Think, like, why is there no cafe like right on the water where you can just like sit there
I
that's
couldn't agree more. Totally. I love our beaches, and everyone loves our beaches, but I actually think our rivers are even more beautiful. It's stunning. So I'm going to keep pointing because it's all just right there. But It is stunning, our river system, and where the three rivers meet. It's beautiful down there, and the trees are great. I don't know. Yeah, it's just not utilised. Yeah, we need to spend more time down there.
Totally.
Sure.
All right. Do you want to give a little closing pitch for the people out there?
Sure. Okay. So I've spent 16 years working for myself and in my own businesses, and with that, I've quite a broad range of skills, from financial understanding, project management, client relationship management, networking, negotiating, self-motivation. You've alluded to the fact I'm on the Tairāwhiti Water Polo Committee. I'm also Vice President of Gisborne Neighbourhood Support, which is just reignited after a 7 or 8 year break. Great to have that back. It's well needed here, and I think we were the only city of our size that didn't have it over the past few years. So it's going to be good to be in the community at grassroots level with that, and meeting people and having a good understanding of how that's all looking. And yeah, if you want the CBD going better, then I'm your person, because literally walk out our front door and straight onto the footpath, straight beside the old Masonic, and it's look at our kitchen into a derelict building that's got people who shouldn't be in there wandering around inside it. So we've fully committed to this city, and I'm absolutely determined to get it in top shape. So vote for me.
Nailed it. And we have a final pop quiz, rapid answers.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Very controversial. Favorite fish and chip shop in Tairāwhiti?
Well, I try to avoid chips. So my favorite is like a huge portion of teriki at the Tatapuri Fishing Club with extra salad.
Nice. Favorite Lord of the Rings character?
Oh my goodness, I knew you were going to ask this. I haven't. I didn't, and I'm not going to. So I know nothing.
Such a dud question.
It's so funny.
No, I thought Lord of the Rings was like, I still think it's the bee's knees, but obviously times have changed.
I'm a bad Kiwi, because everywhere you go overseas, everyone's like, oh, Lord of the Rings. And I'm just like, oh, no, don't ask me. Yeah.
My brother worked on all the movies, and I still have a pair of, he was a set painter, and I still have a pair of the Hobbit ears.
Oh, wow, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
Whale rider or boy?
Definitely whale rider. Yeah. No.
Correct.
For sure.
Māori wards, yes or no?
Yes.
And how do you get through winter? You've already said that.
Winter was easy.
It's easy.
Yeah, it's easy.
Stress.
And it's nice to get out. Yeah, we went down to Hawke's Bay for a weekend, and and Tauranga actually. So yeah, it's nice to get out and about. But I think there definitely could be more to do here, but we'll work on that. Yeah.
And power pie, yes or no?
No, I just like it fried, sliced and fried with a bit of lemon. Yeah.
Oh yeah, good choice.
Now that's an idea.